For over a century, a secret has linked Fatima to the fate of the world. Our Lady left a specific request, but no pope has ever fully granted it. Now, with the election of Leo XIV, something is changing. Coincidences, signs, consecrations. Perhaps we are facing a prophetic moment. Watch until the end. What you discover could change everything. There is a name that continues to echo in the most attentive consciences of the Church: Fatima. A simple place, 3 shepherds, a clear and terrible message. If the words of heaven are not listened to, Russia will spread its errors throughout the world, causing wars, persecutions, and the martyrdom of the righteous. But alongside the threat, there is hope. The conversion of Russia and a time of peace, if and only if it is consecrated to the Immaculate Heart of Mary by the Pope, in union with all the bishops of the world. But why Russia? Why, in the heart of the 20th century, should a heavenly message have indicated this nation as the key to the destiny of the world? It is not a question of politics, but of mystery. Russia, the cradle of a profound spirituality, and at the same time the scene of revolutions and state atheism, embodies a battle between light and darkness. For this reason, according to many theologians and mystics, Our Lady chose her, not to destroy her, but to redeem her. Fatima is not a condemnation, it is a mission. A converted Russia, and not simply pacified, would be a beacon of faith for all humanity. But without the exact consecration, this prophecy remains unfulfilled. Today, in the heart of the new pontificate of Leo XIV, the question forcefully returns to the agenda. 3 years after the ambiguous consecration performed by Pope Francis in March 2022, nothing of what Our Lady promised has come true, neither conversion nor peace. On the contrary, the war continues, and spiritual confusion has worsened. The world looks to Rome, and Rome looks to Leo XIV. Will he obey heaven? On March 25, 2022, in the midst of the war between Russia and Ukraine, Pope Francis called together the bishops of the world to join him in a solemn act of consecration of humanity, and in particular of the Russian and Ukrainian people, to the Immaculate Heart of Mary. The images went around the world. Many, in good faith, believed that the Madonna's request had finally been answered. But the reality of the facts and of theology tells another story. Our Lady did not ask for a generic prayer of peace, nor for an indiscriminate consecration of the world. She asked for the explicit consecration of Russia. And that act, although rich in intention and emotional participation, lacked essential elements. There was no call for conversion, nor a plea for reparation for sins, nor the promotion of devotion on the first Saturdays of the month, an integral part of the message of Fatima. Russia was mentioned, yes, but together with Ukraine and all of humanity, in a gesture that seemed more like a diplomatic maneuver than a prophetic obedience. Years later, the fruits that Our Lady had promised are not seen. No conversion, no peace, only the perpetuation of chaos and war, and an even more divided church. While the official media celebrated the act of 2022 as an alleged fulfillment of the message of Fatima, 2 of the most lucid and faithful voices to tradition dared to say what many feared to think, that consecration did not fully obey heaven. Monsignor Bernard Fellet, Bishop of the Priestly Society of St. Pius VI, recognized that some material elements of the 2022 Act represented progress. For the first time, the name of Russia was pronounced, and a global participation of the episcopate was attempted. But with equal clarity, he pointed out the crucial omissions: no call to conversion, no mention of devotion to the Immaculate Heart, no invitation to reparation, and above all, no public proclamation of Russia's unique role in God's providential plan, first as an instrument of punishment and then of salvation. Our Lady, Vele recalled, did not speak at random. She did not ask for generalities, but exact obedience. Only in this way, he told Sister Lucia, would the conversion of Russia and the time of peace for the world come. If today we see neither the one nor the other, is it not perhaps because the request has not been fully listened to? Even Monsignor Joseph Strickland, an American bishop known for his doctrinal fidelity, reiterated that heaven's conditions are clear, precise, and non-negotiable. In his speech, he reviewed all the previous consecrations, from Pius X to John Paul II, showing how each one failed in at least one essential element. Either the union of the bishops was missing, or the explicit mention of Russia. So too in 2022, where the consecration, although charged with emotion, resolved itself in a vague and diplomatic gesture. The Fatima request is not vague or open to interpretation, Strickland wrote. Until it is fully met, we will not see the promised fruits: the conversion of Russia and world peace. From the first days of his pontificate, Leo XIV revealed a personal approach that deserves attention. A few days after his election, the Bishop of Leiria Fatima consecrated the new Pope to the Immaculate Heart of Mary, a gesture that, although not yet decisive, has given new life to the hope of millions of faithful devoted to Fatima. In his first speech and in his homily at the beginning of his pontificate, the new pontiff spoke of peace as the encounter between enemies who look each other in the eye, evoking an image of reconciliation based on human contact, sincere dialogue, and the overcoming of hostilities. Cardinal Ladislav Nemeth interpreted this line, offering a concrete reading of that vision. Without dialogue with Russia, he said, there can be no authentic peace. According to Nemeth, it is not a question of approving every political action, but of recognizing the cultural and spiritual depth of Russia and of meeting it, not isolating it. Meanwhile, the Pope has concretely offered the Vatican as a meeting place between Vladimir Putin and Volodymyr Zelensky in an attempt to end the war in Ukraine. A public availability confirmed by Cardinal Parolin and welcomed by the Ukrainian president. A strong gesture, not only diplomatic, but also symbolic, which shows the new pontiff's will to act, not just to talk. This approach, still being defined, could open up new avenues. Not a sudden break, but a maturation. A path that, if inspired by prayer and discernment, could lead Leo XIV to do what others have not yet accomplished. To consecrate Russia fully, publicly, and according to the conditions required by Our Lady. Now it's his turn. We'll see what Pope Leo XIV will do, if he really wants to fully accept heaven's request, if he knows how to unite diplomacy and the supernatural. If it will be, as many hope, the Pope who will finally listen to Fatima without further hesitation. The world watches and prays. What do you think? If you liked the video, comment, Amen. God bless you